for the film. You know,
Yep.
there might be travel expenses involved, and things like that. But after that, you do what you want. You know,
No,
what I mean?
as far as I know, the one in Dublin is free.
I think there's maybe going to be a door fee.
I don't think there is,
Well,
because a guy in my work goes to the Badass Cafe for all the games, like, and I said to him, I says, look, because he was at me about, can I get my ticket for this, like, no? And I says, well, you go to the Badass Cafe anyway, just ask them in there about a ticket. And he asked the fella that runs the place, and the fella says, no, there's no ticket, he's just turn up the day and it's free in. They're covering this. I think it's an Eve Podrick, is it?
it is, aye.
Well, as far as I know, well, maybe I shouldn't get quoted on this in the podcast, but he told me he was told in the Badass Cafe, for the fella that runs the place, I can't remember his name, used to have the place at Whitehall, Quinns. He says, no, it's going to be free in. He's covering all it's covering what I know it's got to be coming to Drogheda and that. We're charging a cover charge.
I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't really know about that.
That's what I mean. It's not the day with you. That's up to the club.
Exactly. So I say they can do what they want. I mean, I'm not going to go in there and let you do this, that, next thing. But I mean, it's it's like anything.
I think already, Paul. I think the Carluke seemingly could have sold it out twice over. I think it's sold out already.
Well, it's funny you mention that, Jason, because there was. I mean, we had this discussion on Saturday, but there'll be somebody in Carluke that'll be seeing it for the first time at that do, unfortunately.
Who's this?
A guy that's pretty prominent in the whole media circle.
Does his name begin with Johnny and end with Mackay?
Yes.
Now, there's probably another guy might be seeing it for the first time as well. he was taking my role on Saturday.
It didn't stop him from winning a prize, though, did it?
You sure, but I woke up on Sunday with about 5 rolls of raffle tickets in my pocket. I didn't win anything, did I, Paul?
No.
I seen the picture on
Richard
Facebook.
Swan was the drunkest man on the day, by the way, Harper. I just thought you...
Aye, and it was Richard that won the canvas art, was it?
He did. He won one of them. I don't know who won the other one.
Aye, I seen the picture that we still won. Shout out again, obviously, to your man at Celtic Canvas Art.
Oh, John O'Farrell, tremendous.
It's an absolute diamond. Aye. And for them that's not seen it, go on to his website and have a look at the stuff. It's phenomenal. What a guy! He's a lovely guy as well.
Paul, what was
a stand in the Forge as well? Sorry.
What was the feedback? Was there any feedback for the venue?
Venue absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Like they were, I've been dealing with them for 5 months, and they were. They say to me all the time, like, obviously security issues apart, they were saying the only thing we really care about is make sure everybody takes their cans and bottles or whatever they might have out with them, and everybody did. We helped them clean up at the end and stuff, but they were, had a lot of good, like-minded individuals, shall we say, on side for the venue, and it's kind of like. It was all bought and paid for months ago and stuff, and they were absolutely delighted. And Joe Logan was the star of that. Joe Logan was he was the projectionist of the film, and what a star he was over the weekend. Nothing was too much trouble, good guy, Celtic season ticket holder, all that kind of thing. Elsa, Julie, Celtic Daft. They really done us proud because you know yourself, Harper, in a project of this nature in the centre of Glasgow, you just need to find one bad apple and the whole thing could be fucked. You know what I mean? Somebody takes offence and whatever, and by the end of it on a Sunday, all the staff of the university and that was coming down to get their photos with a big cup and that. So, and we actually had one Sevco fan who was like, "Oh, I'm not wanting my photo taken with that." I was like, "Do you even know what that is?"
I think that just goes with a question here in the chat room for JB at James and Jules. He says, did Paul find out the reaction of the other side who what the...
No. Who cares about that?
But to see the thing is, that's great though that the venue had a great experience as well because it bodes well for anything in the future.
No, absolutely. And it's, Joe, who ran it for that end, said to me, I'll keep in touch. And I was like, absolutely, man, you've become a good friend and certainly look at there for future events and stuff like that. So, yeah, absolutely. Could not have done any more for us if they tried, really,
Right, so, before we move on then a wee bit, maybe talk about the game on Friday night, because we're already 80 minutes in, believe it or not. The next thing is obviously which I've read, obviously the behind the scenes ebook and the soundtrack. Tell us a wee bit about that.
Well, effectively what we're doing with that is I've wrote a behind-the-scenes ebook which contains some of the stuff that wasn't in the book that I could then put in the ebook. It also contains a wee behind-the-scenes what it was like and all that kind of thing, and the money it was spent. I wrote this, I was numbers obsessed with certain things or whatever.
The number stuff, some of the number stuff's brilliant. I love that side of it.
There's some of the number stuff, let's just say that leaves no stone unturned.
Aye.
So the soundtrack is songs from the film and music and other wee bits and pieces that was put together by our mutual friend and comrade Chris McGugan.
Yep.
Who's done a fantastic job on it. Now, what's going to happen with that is very simple. That's going to be available for November the 28th, and that's going to be in a pay what you want scenario, right? So you pay whatever kind of fee you think it's worth to We Still One at hotmail.com on PayPal, and from that we'll make a donation to the Edinburgh North West Food Bank, which is the closest food bank to where the Edinburgh establishment reside. So in effect what will happen is you pay what you want to through PayPal, and then you'll be emailed the soundtrack and the ebook for whatever you paid, and so it'll only be available for a month, November 28th to December 22nd. We'll shoot out there, but there's some good stuff in it, in the ebook and stuff, and some revealing stuff that's not been out there. And also, the job that Chris done was absolutely phenomenal with the soundtrack. So, we own all the rights to the songs. They're our songs, we license them, etc. And Hutchie, that's why they can't go on YouTube.
And Corpatch boy in the chat room saying, "Tell Paul I'm still working on the Leicester CSC," asking him down.
Right, well, that's ongoing. I mean, it's actually here's a wee appeal. Actually, the amount of people that have got in touch with me and said, "When is this coming to England?" And I said again, whenever they invite us, I've had tons of interest for England, but nothing concrete. So if you're listening, you're in England, you have a CSC venue, whatever. The people that want to see it, they're desperate to get dates in the diary. So get in touch and let's get some moving, and we can bring people.
What I would probably say to that is as well, though, check out the dates that are already taken.
Yeah, but certainly huge interest for London, Manchester, Bristol, loads all over the place. London and Manchester, especially Liverpool, they've all been like, when's it coming here? When's it coming here? When's it coming here? It's like, well, just invite us and we'll come. You know what I mean? There's if people want to come, people want me to come doing and do a screening for 20 people. I'll do a screening for 20 people. It doesn't have to be a big venue and all this.
What is the requirement a venue needs to have, Paul? I mean, it doesn't have to be a fucking cinema, like. You know what I mean?
Exactly. All they basically need to have is a computer hooked up to a screen or tellies or whatever, and we can format that in a way on a memory stick to put it in and show it.
Let's be honest, majority of pubs have these big screens and everything now anyway. Like,
God, aye. I mean, a pub can't run without a computer anywhere. You know what I mean? All their tills are computerised and all that sort of thing. So
you've not been in Drogheda yet.
Well, aye.
Set your watch back 10 years.
Aye. But it's and even if we've got guys, technical guys, and that, even if they think, we might not have the requirements, get in touch and we'll tell you how easy we can make it and stuff like that. I mean, certainly the problem was. A couple of venues were in touch with you're bringing in a DVD. It's like, it's not in a format for a DVD. It's on, that's a different format and stuff. But there's easier ways, and perhaps they didn't even realise how easy it could be in that sense. But yeah, it's very easy to get us to go. It's very cheap, and we hope to illuminate you there.
So you're saying the 28th of November. For the ebook, that's actually the date of your next.
Yes, that's Larne in the Station Bar in Larne, 9 o'clock, and I know there's been a lot of interest from guys from Belfast and Derry and all that kind of thing, because we tried to get screenings in Belfast, and for whatever reason it just never happened. But subsequently, people that were interested were like, Belfast, well, I'll come to Larne and whatever. It's a great boozer, the Station Bar. Everybody knows it. Good pub and whatever. Done a boot launch there a year ago. Great guys. They'll look after you. And so come along and see it there, because it'll be doing the same thing for every do. I'll introduce it before, explain the background, and then do a Q&A after it.
And I'm just going to just quickly, for anybody who's listening who maybe wonders where they're going to be, I'm not going to go through dates, but just, and I don't know if this is the most updated poster I've got here in front of me, but so you've got Larne, then Dublin, and then Irvine, Nairn, and Carluke in December.
Yeah, that's right.
Then in January, you've got Drogheda, and then you're off to America then after that. So then you've got the one in Philadelphia, Sonoma County in California, the Bronx, that's Islands 32, that's Brock's Club. You've got Jack Dempsey's New York, February. Then you come back to Scotland, the St Patrick's Festival in Coatbridge.
Yes.
And then in April, off to Australia. And then you've got Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, and Perth. And then, as far as it is at the minute, then it wraps up obviously at the Celtic Convention in Las Vegas. So if you're listening to this, right, and you're saying to yourself, well, there's not a venue near me, and you're talking about these places in England and everything, get it together, guys. If you're listening to this, you must. I mean, Jason will tell you how good this is. Get a night set up for your CSC. Make a few quid for your CSC, because I can assure you, once you speak to Paul, we're talking about a very small fee here. We're not talking. People maybe think we're talking about thousands of pounds. We're not.
One other thing I'll say about that, Harper, as well, is that, and it's something that we will see stepped up in December, is that for people who are immobile or housebound or that, get in touch and we'll come and show you it. No charge, no nothing like that. But a lot of people, can I get to the venue? So, well, fine, we'll come to you. We're setting up people with that, if you're housebound, immobile, whatever disability you might have that prevents you from coming to a screening, we'll come to your house, we'll show you it on your computer or your telly or whatever you might be. No charge, nothing like that. Might take a cup of tea off you or something. That's it. And there'll be a few of them as well, so you don't think that any disability or anything's any barrier to seeing this film.
And Paul, where is the best place then to contact you? Obviously you can get homeboys@gmail.com, homeboys on Twitter, and we'll pass everything on to Paul, but if somebody wants to contact you direct,
they can get in touch with me at Paul Larkin74 on Twitter, or lovest86@hotmail.com, and on email that's lovestreet86.com, which got a great reaction because that was the name of the production company we used, lovestreet86. That got a great reaction at both screenings. And you can start a dialogue, and I basically set aside between now and next July for to show this film, and so we've obviously filled up a hell of a lot of dates, but we can still fit in a few. I mean, December's probably solid now with dates, but there's space in January, there's space in February, there's space in March, and there's space in April, so go for it. And as I'll say as well, with the one screening in Vegas is going to be on the roof of the Riviera Hotel. So
there's somebody in the chat room asking, Jason, this is obviously your pub, Hugh Clark.
Oh, aye, he was there at the weekend.
Well, he's saying the Cross Keys Wishaw on a Friday in January, 9th or the 16th. I'm just looking at your January, and both those dates are free, so all I would say to Hugh is get in contact with Paul and chat about it.
I think he has been in touch before, and there was a lot of drunken people on Saturday night were like, I'll show it at my venue and that kind of thing, so it'll be interesting to see, because I know there's interest in Hamilton and places like that, but all I've got to do is get in touch and get the ball rolling,
Yeah. I would say as well, when you're dead in the roof, the roof of the Riviera, and they've been on the bevy solid for 7 days, there's every chance of a bit of hassle when they've got pulling a drink. They'll be absolutely raging.
Jason, I just got your message.
The blood will be boiling.
Jason, I just got your message.
Aye.
I know. I think that's probably Tam's plan. Actually, keep them all packed in the roof in case they go in the fucking rampage.
What's the story? What is the story? I never even knew you could go on the roof of the Riviera. I've been there a few times.
Listen, there's not much Tam Donnelly can I do, but full bar up there, huge screen, all the whole thing. That's what he's going to go for, and already seen the photos of what it looks like for the view and all that kind of thing. So that could be spectacular.
Fucking hell, it's like an episode of Surprise here. Here's JB at James and Jules in the chat room saying, can you ask Jason if Jamie Connolly still drinks in the Keys? Worked together years ago, lost touch.
I'm sure it does, aye. There you go.
Right, so is there anything, Paul, is there any last things you want to add about about the weekend or anything like that, and then we'll